Hello everyone, Pastor Kenton, Perrin here. I hope all is well with you and I hope you're staying strong in the Lord. Welcome to another installment, another episode in our Fear Not series. If you are joining us for the first time, the Fear Not series basically is where we look at the Bible, and I say we because it's not just me. I hope that you take the time and you look at the Bible with me as I read and as I expound and expand on what the Word says. So we look at the fear not passages in the Bible, chapters and verses and books that deal with God encouraging us to fear not, or God encouraging his leaders to fear not, and his leaders are encouraging people to fear not. So that's the long and short of what we're doing in this series. I hope you have been blessed. If you have been watching, I hope you have been encouraged. I hope you are taking the time to read the Bible for yourself. It's not just a spiritual exercise, right? Or it's not just something that we should add on our list of things that we're doing that's spiritual or that's godly. In these times, it's important that we learn to read the Bible and to share what we are reading with someone else as well. All right. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. We are going to look at another passage of scripture. So far we have been looking in the book of Deuteronomy, the last book of the 5 books of Moses, right? Moses is the one who is talking. He's the one who is encouraging the people. He's reminding them and rehearsing to them all the good things God has promised to his people. And, God told Moses that he cannot go into the promised land. And because of that, Moses is taking the time to remind the people of God's goodness and God's mercies. And so today we are looking at Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 29. But before we read verse 29, we're going to back up a little bit and we're going to review a couple of the passages that we looked at. We looked at verse 17 in Deuteronomy, for example, where we spoke about show no partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike. Do not be intimidated by anyone, for judgment belongs to God. And bring to me any case too difficult for you, and I will hear it. The word there, intimidated, is in the Hebrew it actually means don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anyone, right? So we spoke about leadership and the importance of us not to lead in fear, but to lead by principle and by example, right? Then the next one we looked at after, well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to read just for us to get a little context here, and do that with me as well. Deuteronomy chapter 1. So we started at verse 17. 18 says, and at that time I commanded you all the things you were to do. 19, and just as the Lord our God had commanded us, we set out from Horeb and went toward the hill country of the Amorites, through all the vast, terrifying wilderness you have seen. When we reached Kadesh Barnea, I said, you have reached the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord our God has placed the land before you. Go up and take possession of it, as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has told you. Do not be afraid or discouraged. So in verse 21 there, right? Go take the land. God has promised it to your forefathers, right? Do not be afraid or discouraged. God has promised it. and to the patriarchs of old, and now their descendants, the children of Israel, their offspring, if you please, are about to take the promise, or to realize the promise, right, that God had made to them. So that's verse 21, right? God say, here it says, see, the Lord has placed the land before you. It is before you, just as he said. We serve a good God, right? Go up and take possession of it, as the Lord, the God of your fathers, has told them. Do not be afraid or discouraged. We'll continue to read, because we're going to verse 29. 29 is the emphasis here. The plan seemed good to me, so I selected 12 men. Moses is talking, of course, from among you, one from each tribe. They left and went up into the hill country, came to the valley of Eshcol, and spied out the land. They took some of the fruit of the land in their hands and carried it down to us and brought us word. It is a good land. The Lord our God is giving us. Continuing now. But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, because the Lord hates us, he has brought us out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to be annihilated. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, the people are larger and taller than we are. The cities are large with walls up to the heavens. We even saw the descendants of the Anakim there. And here it is, the verse of emphasis. So I said to you, do not be terrified or afraid of them. The Lord your God, who goes before you, will fight for you, just as you saw him do for you in Egypt. Do not be afraid of them. So the Israelites were fearful. They were meeting obstacles. They got a bad report from the spies, as Moses was reminding them, and we look at this in Numbers, right? Whenever we are faced with challenge after challenge, we always have to remind ourselves. We always have to remind ourselves of God's goodness. Just remind, we have to keep rehearsing it. And Moses is rehearsing this to them because he knows when he's not there anymore, challenges and obstacles were still going to come. But the way to fight challenges and obstacles, right, is to simply trust and not fear. Moses says, do not be terrified, right, or afraid of them. Don't be terrified or afraid of them, right? You just simply have to trust. The Hebrew word for terrified here simply means something that makes you tremble. Something that makes you tremble, right? Moses said to them, don't you dare do this. You serve a God who will fight for you and a God who is going to go before you. We've dealt with this before. And this is just a reminder to us, right? That God is going to go before us and God is going to fight for us. And we have to just remember what he has done in the past before. All right? So just want to encourage you with verse 29. Do not be terrified or afraid. Whatever you're facing in life, whatever situation it is right now, do not be terrified. Do not be afraid. God goes before you. He goes before you. And he will fight for you just as you saw him do in Egypt. Just wanted to share this passage of scripture with you. I hope it has been a blessing to you and that you will continue to read and enhance your spiritual life, enhance your spiritual walk, and perhaps when you share it, it will enhance somebody's spiritual walk as well. Remember this one thing as you focus on the Lord and as you read the word. Only what you do for Christ will last. God bless.